This is The Space Shot, episode 265 for February 3rd, 2018. Luna 9, STS-41-B, STS-60, and STS-63. I'm John Molnix. 52 years ago today, on February 3rd, 1966, the Soviet Union landed the Luna 9 spacecraft on the moon. This was the first time that something had soft landed on the moon. Before then, spacecraft simply impacted the lunar surface. The Luna 9 spacecraft ejected a landing capsule just a few meters above the lunar surface at the Ocean of Storms. The most recent spacecraft to land on the moon was the Chang'e 3 lander and the U-2 rover. This Chinese mission launched in December of 2013 and sent back images of the lunar surface. Future moon missions range from sample return missions conducted by the Chinese to a lunar tourism mission that SpaceX is scheduled to fly in the coming years. It's pretty cool that for over a half-century, robotic and human missions have been exploring the lunar surface from orbit and on the ground. Let's skip forward a few decades and into low Earth orbit. On February 3rd, 1984, the Space Shuttle Challenger lifted off on its fourth flight, carrying a crew of 5 astronauts into orbit on a nearly 8-day-long mission. On board Challenger was astronaut Bruce McCandless, who would go on to fly the MMU during the first untethered spacewalk in history. We'll come back to STS-41-B and Bruce McCandless on February 7th to talk about this EVA. A decade later, on February 3rd, 1994, another new era in space exploration began. The Space Shuttle Discovery launched on the first flight of the Shuttle Mir program. Russian cosmonaut Sergei Krikalev became the first Russian to fly on the Space Shuttle just a few years after the end of the Cold War. STS-60 was the beginning of the Shuttle Mir flights, and these flights and the long-duration stays by American astronauts on Mir helped lay the foundation for operations on the International Space Station. Discovery didn't dock with Mir on this flight, but it would launch to perform a rendezvous with the station 1 year later during the STS-63 mission. On February 3rd, 1995, Discovery launched on STS-63. The shuttle performed a near-Mir approach that took it within 11 meters of the Russian station. During STS-63, Eileen Collins became the first female shuttle pilot. She would later go on to command a mission of her own in 1999. If you'd like to learn more about Eileen Collins, check out episode 70. This mission validated techniques like, quote, precision flying as the shuttle closes in on Mir, validating the use of a centerline camera for targeting the docking mechanism on Mir, plus, quote, demonstrating the joint operations between mission control centers in Houston and Kaliningrad, Russia. STS-60 and 63 were historical milestones for the shuttle program. These cooperative missions between the United States and Russia during the Shuttle Mir project gave NASA the experience with long-duration spaceflight that it had been missing since the Skylab missions. Before I go today, I've got one piece of space news. As of today, February 3rd, SpaceX is still on track to launch the Falcon Heavy on February 6th. It's been confirmed that SpaceX will attempt to land all 3 boosters, which is something that I'm really looking forward to watching. I've been waiting for this launch for years, as has pretty much everybody in the space community, so knowing that it's this close seems a bit unreal. Sadly, I won't be able to make it out to Florida this time. My vacation ends tomorrow on the 4th, and there's no way I can get out there this week. Here's to the next Falcon Heavy launch and me being able to be in Florida for liftoff. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. I'd appreciate it if you could leave a review on iTunes. If you do that, screenshot it and send it to me at John Molnix, pretty much everywhere on the internet, and I'll send you a Space Shot sticker and a little thank you. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button, that way you don't miss any of the daily episodes. As always, the show notes have more information on today's episode. You can hit me up on Instagram and Twitter. Find me at John Molnix. I'm always up to chat. You can also connect with me on Facebook. Just search The Space Shot or click the links in the show notes and you'll find me. I'm John Molnix, and I'll catch you on the flip side.